You said we'd be safe back here. Come on, there's 3 of us and only 1 of him. It won't matter.
Star Wars is great. Star Wars was great. One of the best things about Star Wars was the Clone War era. The era where the clones had the war with the silly battle droids, right? One of the best things in that era of Star Wars is Star Wars The Clone Wars, the animated series. Not this one, this one. But even though I really like that series, for a lot of really good reasons, I have a problem with that show. You wanna know what that problem is? The battle droids suck. Not just the battle droids, the Separatists too. The Separatist Alliance as a whole in Star Wars is treated as nothing but a joke, really. And it's kinda sad, because the droid army, the Separatist Alliance, there are so many things you could do with the droid army. There are so many emotional stories you could tell, and there are so many emotional stories that have been told. There are so many good characters that have come out of the Separatist Alliance and the Clone Wars. Like, General Grievous deserves so much more respect than he actually gets. General Grievous is supposed to be like a pro-Jedi killer. He's supposed to be a monster, dude. He's supposed to be a savage, an absolute beast. But in Star Wars The Clone Wars, he gets bested by a bunch of Gungans. Now, I don't think General Grievous's adaptation, I guess you could call it, in the Clone Wars animated series is really that bad. I think it's a pretty solid adaptation. I think the problem lies where we don't see him win often enough to justify the amount of losses he takes in that show. Like, I mean, of course, he's not gonna kill somebody like Obi-Wan Kenobi, because he's not able to, he's not supposed to. But the problem is, we don't see him face off against other Jedi or other characters that he can beat enough. Other characters that he can kill enough. He wins twice. One against, what's his name? Nadar Veb, that one idiot. And then another time, he commits a genocide. But yeah, I mean, those are his only 2 victories in the entire show. And even then, when he does beat Nadar Veb, could you really call that a victory? I mean, because right after that, Kit Fisto whooped his ass. So I don't know. Well, did he really whoop his ass? I don't know. He kind of ran off. But okay, I'll give that to him. That was a victory. I'll give it to him. But my point is that overall, in that show, Grievous has many more losses than wins, and the wins really aren't that amazing. The droid army in The Phantom Menace was cold and, like, calculating. They didn't show any signs of emotion, really. They just did what they were told. Roger, roger this, roger, roger that, right? Bunch of clankas just walking around doing what they were programmed to do, to kill and, and kill. In every installment after that, they're like not the same at all. The droid army has become just a bunch of goofballs with emotions, and I don't really understand. I mean, I get the whole droids being sentient thing in Star Wars. That's been around for a long time now. I'm not gonna say that the droids can't be sentient and that they can't have emotion. As a matter of fact, I think giving the droids emotion could open a lot of really interesting doors for the sake of storytelling. And those avenues have been explored in the past, which is great, but they're not being explored enough. Instead of exploring those interesting avenues and telling those interesting stories, we get a lot of jokes and a lot of pathetic moments from these clankas. The droids are portrayed as very useless, when in lore, I believe, the droids are meant to be a serious threat. Your average clone soldier genuinely feared the B-2 Super Battle Droid, or the Droideka, or Destroyer Droid, whatever you want to call it. When you treat these droids like a joke, when you make them the butt of every single joke in the show, it seriously demeans them. It doesn't make them look intimidating, it doesn't make them effective villains, it just turns them into slop. I don't know, maybe Dave Filoni or any other writers in that room thought they were being clever when they just turned the droids and Grievous and every villain, maybe besides Dooku, into a joke, but I don't know, man. The worst part about this is that the Clone Wars isn't really the only show guilty of doing this to the droids. It's not only the Clone Wars, it's basically every other show the droid army has been in. Bad Batch, Rebels, Resistance, even The Mandalorian, sort of. Although, to give credit where it's due, The Mandalorian did show the droid army in a better light than any of these other shows did. They're portrayed more effectively, and it's not that much. They didn't do that much to properly portray the droids effectively. It was just really minuscule, minute stuff, but they really did portray the droids more effectively than any of the Clone Wars era content we've gotten has, which is kind of mind-blowing to me. And you know, what's even worse is not only are the droids treated as a joke, we also never really get any content revolving around the Separatists. We always get clone stuff, we always get our Clone Wars shows, we always get the Bad Batches. We never focus on the Separatists though, or why they thought that they were right, or why technically they were right. Maybe a General Grievous look into his backstory kind of thing, right? Maybe something to show you the enemy's point of view, to show you the other side's point of view. We've gotten so many things from the good guy's point of view. Why can't we see anything else? We haven't really seen anything from the Galactic Empire's point of view, at least not showcasing their manipulation or why people genuinely believe the Empire is the good guys. We never see stuff like that, which really irks me. We haven't really seen any of that for the Empire. We haven't seen any of that for the Separatists. The First Order, I don't think really needs it, because the First Order was, you know, they're child soldiers. They were taken and manipulated at a very young age. We already know that. We don't need to see the full process that they went through. That makes sense. But the Empire, these are adults enlisting to, you know, join this galactic empire. And even though this empire is comically evil, they believe that the empire is right. They believe that the empire is good and is necessary. So why is that? Why do they believe that? I want to see that kind of stuff. What is it like to be a battle droid? What is it like to be, you know, deployed on the battlefield, shot down, recycled, and reused over and over and over again for the same purpose? Like, there was a story, a short comic, I believe, called something The Lone Battle Droid. I've only ever seen YouTube videos on it, but it's a really nice little story. I recommend that you look it up on YouTube, check out a video about it. It's really neat. But essentially, it showcases a battle droid being disconnected from that, I guess, central hive mind or whatever. He can think freely. He can think for himself. And what he chooses to do with the time that he has to think for himself, he chooses to run from the battlefield. And as he runs, he encounters a grapple droid who he gets into a scuffle with, and the grapple droid that tried to bring him back to the army ends up getting heavily damaged beyond repair. He dies, but before he dies, the lone battle droid that he got into that scuffle with comforts him, you know, in his final moments. It's just a sweet little story. It's just something that we've never seen before, and I don't know why we can't have any of that kind of stuff in, you know, like our shows or our movies or whatever. It's I don't know, man. I mean, hell, even Lego doesn't like battle droids for some reason. Even Lego doesn't like the Separatist Alliance. I mean, we haven't gotten a droid-only battle pack in what? Like a battle droid-only battle pack in how many years? It's the last one came out in, let's see, 2007. I believe it was 2007. It is 2024. The last one that we got was from 2007. It's 2024, and this kind of stuff just frustrates me. It does. It really frustrates me because there is so much potential storytelling, so much potential for like a Grievous series, you know, on Disney Plus, or a movie maybe, or just anything showing a brand new point of view. I want to see something new. I'm sick of seeing things from the Rebellion's point of view, or, you know, the Galactic Republic's point of view. I want to see things from the bad guys' point of view, and see why they don't think they're the bad guys. That would be interesting. That would be cool. That would be new and different. I want to see that. And I want to see the droids be an actual threat. You know the game Republic Commando? Well, if you don't know Republic Commando, the droids in that game are dangerous. I want them to be like Republic Commando droids, okay? That's what I want. That's what I want. I want the droids to be dangerous, okay? I want them to be a real threat, not just joke-spitting, pathetic, little skinny clankers, okay? That's not what I want. That isn't cool. Sure, it's funny sometimes. Every joke you might see, it's funny, I'll admit. I do like a good droid joke, but at the same time, I don't like it. Because it's frustrating. It is. It's frustrating. That was my rant out of the way. There you go. I don't know. I'm kind of sick of Star Wars. I have been sick of Star Wars for a while now. I think it's gone down the drain, really. The only thing I'm really interested in seeing from Star Wars anymore is anything relating to The Mandalorian, and hopefully something that can portray the Separatists in a better light than what we've gotten. So, but that's probably never gonna happen. I shouldn't even like expect it. I'm not gonna expect it because they won't ever do that. Because that's risky and it might not make money, and they know what works, so that's all they're ever gonna do. But I know this video is different. If you haven't noticed already, I try to keep my content focused around, you know, aliens, monsters, creatures of all shapes and sizes. But this time, I just wanted to do something a bit different. Talk about something that's been on my mind recently. So, next video, I will get back to the aliens, monsters, and creatures of all shapes and sizes. So, do you agree with me on this? Are the Separatists mistreated, underutilized, poorly utilized? I think they are. If you disagree with me, I would be glad to have a conversation about it in the comments. If you agree with me, that's awesome. I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.